12 races left. It's
Yeah,
possible. Like anything is possible.
anything is possible right
And
now
it's
except for
2024.
Checo. Welcome back to Beyond the Formula. My name is Kimmy, and I know that I'm not speaking for myself when I say that Lewis Hamilton, the man that you are, we love you.
Yes, I can't believe it was 2.5 years. And oh yeah, and I'm Tasty. And I need to know the very first question is how did you feel watching Lewis win for the very first time?
I cannot describe the emotions that I was going through. To see something like that was so insane for me because, like you said, it was my very first time seeing Lewis Hamilton win a race. I have been here for 2.5 years of heartache, and I finally got to see him win.
Yes.
And at
Yes.
Silverstone, nonetheless, I mean,
I
insane.
I know. I like even think about it. I was like, did it actually happen? But
Literally.
also, did it actually take 2.5 years? Because it feels like forever, but it also feels like 2021 Abu Dhabi just happened. So,
Exactly. Time is flying. Time is really, really
yes.
flying. I cannot believe that I've been a Formula One fan for 2 years now. It's actually crazy to me. It's just insane. And the script of his win is so perfectly written. To go from the heartache of Abu Dhabi 2021 to rewrite history at his home race for his last year with Mercedes, 104 wins, 9 wins at Silverstone. Couldn't have
Yeah.
scripted it better myself.
And the most wins at a circuit. I mean,
Exactly.
of course, every time that he wins, there's going to be another record that he's breaking, but it's just so beautiful that he beat that record at his home race. Like, there's just so many levels to this.
Exactly. And it's just hilarious because he's just passing the baton to himself. It's
Yeah.
like going from record breaker to the point where even Max Verstappen is like, yeah, I have this many wins, but it doesn't compare to Lewis. Like, real respect's real. And we love that.
Yeah, and to think like it's been 17 years he's been racing and he has quieted all the haters now. Let's just
Yeah.
clarify. I saw him win before, so I always knew that he was going to win again. But for me, seeing the evolution of him before and how his energy was, and then he came back in 2021, and I feel like you never really saw how he was before, but I saw the life taken out of him after every race, after every race, after every race. And I think everybody kind of picked up on it, but to know what he was before and then to see that light back into him, like that was going like
It was
pre
beautiful to see.
2021, I was just like, I almost forgot what his energy was like. Even though he's always positive, it was just a different type of energy, and we saw it, and you just got to see it for the first time. So
The spark came back. The spark came so freaking happy. Like, I cannot even. I still cry when I'm seeing clips now because I'm just like, oh my God.
yes.
5 days ago, we had some happiness. Mercedes, 2 race wins in a row. Yes, you're crying. Real as hell. Real as hell.
Yeah.
It's
Like
just,
it's so beautiful because I mean, I know that you kind of know my backstory, but the only reason why I followed this sport was because I found out about Lewis and
yeah.
it was like 10 years ago. So he wasn't the greatest of all time, but everybody said he could be. So to see just like the evolution of becoming and then being told that he wasn't and then being saying that he's washed and all these things and then just to see all this and then to get back-to-back wins and like I don't know. It's just, and then the week before we had Toto saying that he feels like Lewis is going to get a win. And then it happens the very next week too. It's so beautiful. Like,
Again, we could not have scripted it better. I can't stop screaming about it. I
yeah.
have not been able to shut up. Like, I'm just gonna forever be wearing my 44 gear because I need the world to know that I'm a Lewis girl. And I was
Yes.
there for his hardest times, and I will be there for his largest triumphs. Next up, we're
Yes.
getting a World Drivers' Championship with Ferrari.
Yes. I even saw some people are like, oh, Lewis is gonna win his 8th/9th championship this
This
year. And
year.
I was I
Yeah.
know.
I was like, yeah, absolutely. The next 9 races, I will be seated. I will be, so we just need to win the next 9 in a row. And if anybody can do it,
Yes.
Lewis can do it. So I
Yes.
believe. Team LH, let's sit. Let's sit
Yes.
and wait. Let's be silent and let's wait for it to happen.
Oh my God, could you imagine? Could you imagine? I saw like the theory was that it was going to be Lando, Max, and Lewis coming down to like the last race that anybody could win. And
Yeah.
I mean, statistics speaking, McLaren is like the best car now, and clearly Mercedes has taken a big jump and Red Bull hasn't. And we have still, what, 12 races left? It's
Yeah.
possible. Like anything is possible.
Anything is possible right now.
And in
Except
2024.
Checo.
But in 2024, it's proven that anything is possible.
We all went into this season thinking, oh my God, it's just going to be another Max Verstappen dominance era. And now we have 5 new race winners, people.
Yes.
Insane.
Total 6
Insane.
race winners, but 5. And Max is the only one that has won like 2 races. But I feel in my bones like we're in for the best season, obviously, since 2021.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait.
But if they, Checo, speaking, we can get back to Checo. Like, speaking of Checo, like, if they keep him, they're not winning the Constructors' Championship. So we can already know that we have a different Constructors' Championship. Max, on the other hand, that's still questionable. But,
Exactly.
And go ahead.
I was going to say, I know that you have some really great theory. So I think you need to tell the people what you have been cooking up in your mind.
Well, I woke up, I had wonderful dreams, but I did wake up this morning and see a video about Checo, and my instant thought was that Checo's getting a boo because obviously there's no reason for them to keep him. And then Daniel Ricciardo will get that seat. And I know it's going back on everything that I've said on this podcast, but Liam will then get the seat of Daniel Ricciardo. But because Carlos has been slow playing his deal with whatever team he's decided with and went to Red Bull and then it was gone, he is going to get a really good offer from Red Bull Racing. He's going to accept it because obviously it's the best team for him to go to.
Yeah.
At the end of 2025, but Daniel will be kicked out, but he'll be okay because he ended his career in a Red Bull.
At Red Bull. He came full circle. And I think that I would be very sad to see Daniel go, but I think if that's the pathway to him leaving the sport, then I'm okay with it. I can be down with that. If he ends with Red Bull, I'm fine with it.
And I think a lot of people would be fine with it too, because he might actually have a chance to get another seat, but
Exactly.
But that's still up in the air.
I think that if he gets that Red Bull seat, he can prove he can silence some haters. And I want to see him do it. So I think that, check out Daniel in, Liam in, Carlos Sainz, maybe.
Red Bull.
Yeah.
But like, I think it doesn't matter who you're a fan of. I think we're all dreaming, or not dreaming. Maybe I'm the only one that has crazy dreams these days. But the matchup between Carlos and Max within that team.
Oh my God, that would be insane.
While the car isn't the best.
Yeah.
It's a dream. It's a dream. It's a dream.
Exactly.
My dream.
There would be some serious fights, and I want it. I need that juicy gossip, please. Make it happen. Somebody. I mean, we manifest all the time on this podcast, so let's do it again. Let's do it again.
Exactly. And I think like Carlos has kind of realized like he doesn't have a lot of options. We've discussed this previous episodes that he values himself higher because he is worth a lot, but like still he's a strategist, he's a driver, he's all the things. But people don't value him as all those things because they just need drivers. But I think it could happen at Red Bull.
I
You know?
absolutely agree. And I do think that Carlos, yeah, is a great strategist. I mean, did you see him working his strategy at Silverstone whilst
Yes.
Ferrari absolutely ballsed up Charles Leclerc? I mean, that was insane. Everybody else was like, no, the track is still dry. Why did you pit him for inters? And also, Charles, stand up for yourself. Stand up for
Yes.
yourself and say
Like,
no.
he needs to learn to use his voice.
Yeah,
I don't know why he doesn't. I don't, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, you are clearly the chosen child at Ferrari. You're the golden boy. You could do no wrong. So use your voice, sir. Like, somebody teach him how to use his voice
exactly.
because
And
it
he had
just,
such a great race start. He had
yes,
such an insane race start. He made it into the points. He was running P8.
yes.
We were like, yes, let's go, Charles. Like,
Yeah,
where could you get
right.
up? P8, P7. I don't even remember exactly which one it was, but he was up there. And for
Yes.
them to mess that up so badly, watching him struggle in P16 after that was just horrendous. It was actually felt offensive to see him trying to lug that car around during that through those back markers. I was like, what am I watching right now? It was
I know.
insane.
And then he had to pit again because those enters were completely done. So we had to put on
Yeah.
another pair. It's just like, Ferrari, what are you doing?
Honestly, them and McLaren, just what were they doing that race? Made no sense. Like being off there so late, I was like, are we all watching the same race?
Exactly. And I think that goes back to McLaren does not have the confidence in their pit stops, which is crazy because they're really good at that.
They
We
have
don't
some,
ever talk about,
yeah,
yeah. I've never made a comment about how bad their pit stops are. So for them to not just take like a second, 2 seconds from Oscar and maybe lose one place and leave him out, or not pit him a lap earlier when Max and them pitted, like I was like, Oscar could win this. Oscar could win this. And he would have
literally.
won it. Hands down, he would have won it if they would have pit him behind Lando because he is the one that made the right decision about
Exactly.
what tire choice.
What
He went
tire
on
to go on?
new mediums. Why did
Honestly,
Lando?
Lando did it because he saw what Lewis was doing. But I'm sorry, Lando Norris, you are not Lewis Hamilton. You cannot be making race decisions like Sir Lewis Hamilton does because I'm sorry to say this, you don't have that talent. You cannot win a race on scrubbed like sauce.
Soft.
Okay, only Lewis Hamilton can do that. You had fresh sauce and you couldn't even do it. And you had new mediums as well that you could have gone onto. You had the tire choices that would have won
And
you that race.
and that's the difference, in my opinion, between a driver that's good, that has the skills, and a world championship driver.
Exactly.
And I hate to say this because you are a Charles fan, but it's the same thing with Charles, I feel, because you have Carlos saying, no, I'm going to stay out, no, making his own strategy decisions when in the heat of the moment. And you have Oscar doing the same thing. And I believe Oscar's a future world champion. And
Oh, absolutely.
and this race totally confirmed everything that I believed. If you give Oscar and Lando the same car, and you give them the same options, Oscar will choose, Oscar will win. He'll choose the better option. And I was heartbroken, but also at the same time, I was like, the universe had plans that we could not change. Because
Exactly.
if Lando would have chosen the right choice, he would have won
And
his
I
second
think that
race.
would have been so heartbreaking for Lewis. Oh my God. If Lewis had lost that race, I don't know. I don't even want to think about it. Thank you to whatever higher powers there are for
Yes.
giving us that win, because I think if I had seen him P2 or P3 on that podium, we would have been able to see the light leave his eyes. And
Yes.
I wasn't ready for that because coming P2 or P3 is not enough for Lewis. He wants to
Yeah.
win. So
And to win at home with the last race with Mercedes, like, and just break a few more records, and just, it was beautiful. It was meant to happen. And Lando, it was meant for you to see that you need to work on strategy under pressure, like making the right decisions. But also McLaren, why are you giving him that choice? Clearly you have all the information. Why would you even give him a choice? Why don't you just tell him to box and do your thing?
Exactly. You're the strategist. Make the
Yeah.
strategy calls. Don't ask your driver. He's driving. It's like when Bono was trying to give Lewis information at the end, and Lewis was just like, Bono, lead
let
me
me do
to
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, let him drive. You make the calls, okay? That's
Yes.
your job. Don't ask him what he wants to do. He's like 22 years old. He doesn't even know how to make life decisions. Okay?
I mean, look at his nose. He still has a scar. That's going to be there
Exactly.
forever.
That tells you all you need to know about Lando Norris.
But Oscar, you are truly proving everything to us that you are going to be a world champion driver.
Oh.
You are going to win a world championship.
I
And
just love Oscar Piastri so much. I can't even describe it. Like, I just love him. Like, I just want to squeeze him and
That's
just be like,
because he's
"You're
an
so great."
Aries.
He's just so great. You know what I mean? Like, how do you? You're
Yeah.
such a talented little boy.
I know,
love
and
him.
so chill and cool, calm, collected, always makes the right decision. Like in my head, I'm like, why didn't you ask him, hey, do you want to pit behind Lando, or do you feel like you need to go another lap? Or do you want to pit a lap earlier than Lando? If they would have gave him that strategy option, I believe he might have said, I'll pit a lap early. I really do.
He really would
Because
have. Because he's smart.
yeah, I mean, and it obviously worked out for Max. I for sure was like, are we going to get another race with Max not on the podium? Are we going to? Oh my God. It would have happened if the whole rain situation didn't happen, but
Oh, yeah.
clearly it was the right decision to pit a lap earlier, if not a lap later.
Seeing Max overtake Lando in that race had my heart falling out of my behind. Because I was like, oh, no, he's coming to him. I was like, no, he's going to eat him alive. I was like, Lando, you could have defended a little bit more with your life, but our King Lewis, he slayed. He slayed.
Yeah. But I think also Lando was a little scared from the weekend before and did not want to have any incident at his own race. And he knew he was going to end up on the podium either way. And he was just like, all right, I'm just going to let him go. But also, George Russell, poor guy, gets pole. How could we forget about him? He gets pole at his home race. Obviously, we knew like he wasn't going to win because the power of Lewis.
Exactly.
But then to like DNF,
that broke my heart. This is the George Russell hat, everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. Remember that I am a Georgie fan as well. Okay. And so when he did that, I was like, look. But I did see something that annoyed me a little bit. Okay, and I have to talk about it. But what was with George Russell fan? Love you guys. But so George Russell fans should be saying that was meant to be George's race. George was meant to win it. In what world? In what world? No offense, guys, but if the script said anything, that was Lewis's race because it was his last race with Mercedes. It was a historic win. So I don't know where this whole that was George's race is coming from.
No, what it was, George should have been on the podium.
Yes.
And he would have been on the podium.
Yes.
But also, as the last couple laps, when you saw Max pass Lando, I was like, if George was here, Max would have had to go through another car because for sure Mercedes would have double stacked at the end, right? Yeah, would have double stacked, wouldn't have had a problem. They would have done the right strategy. And I was like, oh my God. And Lewis was like, oh, that was the longest whatever laps. And I was like, yes, I was watching. And then I'd like look up and I'd be like, oh my God, we've only went down one lap. Like, literally. Why does it feel like time is going backwards?
Literally, I just wanted to press fast forward. And you texted me, Casey texted me and was like, are you watching? I was like, I can't talk to you right now. I was like, I can't talk. I'm too stressed.
Yeah.
Because I just wanted that race to be over. Nothing could have been slower for me than the last few laps of that race.
It was like time stood still for 100%. And I was just like, everything stood still except for Max's car getting closer. Like, no.
Shock.
No.
Looming behind you. It was
yes.
like,
yes.
and then, oh, but thank goodness we
and then we got to like 2 laps to go and the time was too far. And I was just like, okay, he's got it. He's just got to keep it on the track. Oh my God. It's like even my stomach is getting like, oh, right now because I was just like, I can't believe it's happening. But yeah. And then in the cool down room, did you also see, Lewis kind of roasting Lando? Like, oh, you stayed out one lap too long.
Lando was getting a pit, and Lewis was like, well, why do you make that my own voice?
Wait, didn't you have like new mediums?
New mediums? Literally, and Lando was not having it. Lando didn't want to talk to a soul in that cool down room, and Max was just like, yap, 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 yap. And Lewis was like, it was hilarious.
Yeah, it was like, I don't know. It was one of the best moments since 2021, I will say.
Also,
I just feel like
ask,
I have life. I have life again.
Oh, 100%. We have a race season to look forward to.
Yes.
We have something to wake up. Well, for me, something to stay up late for. You know, like I'm up at 1 a.m. and I'm ready. I'm ready to go because I know it's going to be good.
Yes.
Also, speaking of Lando being in the pits and feeling sad and stuff, I need to ask your opinion on people babying Formula One drivers when it comes to this stuff. Because Lando Norris was in the media pen feeling sorry for himself once again, which, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Completely fine. Commiserations to you, all good. But okay, you had a bad race. You're always this hard on yourself, and I always say that I think this is what sets you aside from being a world champion and being a good driver. Like a world champion would just be feel sorry for themselves for 2 seconds, but not let their enemies see that they're weak. You know what I mean? Like they just get over it. And then so she was doing our interview and Brad Pitt walks up behind him and everyone's like, it's so insensitive of them to have Brad Pitt in the media pen at that time. I'm like, what? They would have signed everything to say that this is fine. Like, what?
Okay. So for anybody who has been in the paddock and has been around the media, whatever area, it's not really that big of a deal because each person is having their own private interview. They literally have no idea what's happening beside them, next to them. Like they're having their own kind of conversations and it's not even like there's no interaction. It's like, think of like you go into a cubicle at like a corporate job and everyone has their own cubicle, but they're sitting there with a million people, right? In this huge office space. That's kind of what it's like. So for me, I was just like, I saw that too. And I was just like, oh guys, that's not really a big deal. Like nobody's paying attention to that.
Exactly. And they're surrounded by celebrities all the time. They're surrounded by cameras all the time. Yes. Lando Norris didn't know what was happening behind him. And I think that if he knew that Brad Pitt was there, he would not have cared in the slightest. Because guess what? He knew Brad Pitt was going to be there all race. So
Exactly. And also, like, the only thing that he really cares about is talking to his media person that's like recording a conversation, making sure that he's not saying anything that is offensive or although it does make me like, he's like, I'm tired of saying this. And I'm like, I'm tired of hearing you say these things about yourself. But also, I think it's time now to take some responsibility and be like, okay, I need to look at the way other drivers, and I mean, Carlos is like his best friend. Like, I am 100% sure if he's like, hey, Carlos, I need help making strategy decisions. Can you give me some tips? Of course he's going to be like, hey, like these are like the whole situation. This is how I made the decision. And even if it has nothing to do with this year's races, we can go back to like when he was giving DRS so he could win the race or place or whatever it was. Like one of the best strategists on the circuit is your best friend. Like, come on.
Yeah, I think accountability needs to start now for Lando Norris.
Yeah.
Stop feeling sorry for yourself. This is not like hating on you in the slightest, because we want to see you do
criticism.
well. Yes, you're a great driver. It's time to Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Start taking
Level up.
accountability and level up. Because all you can
Yeah.
do in life is grow from your mistakes. You can't just sit there
Yes.
and wallow in self-pity. You need to do something about it.
Right, exactly. Because now you have the car under you to win. You have everything at your fingertips. You're talented, you're smart. Like you have the ability to understand and to learn how to make the right strategy calls.
Exactly.
You have all the ability.
Exactly.
You just have to fine tune it. And he has that opportunity. And I think if he doesn't do it, clearly Oscar is going to pass him.
Exactly. And you know what? You don't think George Russell feeling sorry for himself like that. George
No.
DNF'd out of the whole race and he was like, go Lewis. You know what I mean?
Right? He was the first one that like
To go up and
congratulated
congratulate him. I love Brittany. I'm actually
Yeah.
about to cry. There's tears forming in my eyes thinking about it because, oh my God,
Yeah.
a genuine tear has fallen. But
Yeah.
it's just like, it's so nice when you have a teammate like that. I have mad respect for George. Sometimes he can annoy me, but
Yes.
I love him and I love their working relationship because when it's
Yeah.
good, it's damn good. And
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. And it was such like I've heard so many different things from people within Mercedes about the whole relationship, but like in a time where you show respect and a time where you need to work together, they do it. And it's so beautiful.
Exactly.
And to DNF, to be in your cities, as I call them, I don't know what you call them, like that's my military talk, and just go congratulate him was like something that I didn't think that I would see, and it was a nice touch. It was earn some brownie points with me, George Russell, because you do get a little bit on my nerves because he's so preppy, and I just don't come from that world, so it's just. That was me wrong sometimes, but yeah.
Understandable. It's taken George and I a very long time to get to where we are. But he's a lovely guy. Like, George is just one of the loveliest people I've ever met. And, like, when we're talking to George, he gives you all his attention and he makes you feel like you've known each other for all your lives. And I was just like,
and that's amazing.
Like, he's great. He's a wonderful person. And I think that he has a lot to learn from Lewis. And he just needs to absorb it all. In this year, because I think that George has world champion blood in him. Somebody just needs to harness it properly.
Yeah, and he only has a few more months with Lewis. And then not Carlos, sorry. You see, I'm such a Carlos fan. No.
Messy.
Like, who's getting that seat again? Like, we don't know. Oh, you know who else that I was so proud of? Logan.
Oh my God.
And Williams all together. Like, it was a good show for them.
Alex Albon had one of the, like, almost got taken out by Fernando Alonso in the start. And was like, oh no. And then I did not think points were on the cards for Alex. And he just said, okay, I'm going to drive this car now. And I was like, yes, go, Alex, go.
Yes. And
it was just insane.
Still, it was so, it was incredible. And even though Russell DNF'd, he still would have been on the points, right? Because he was P9, right? P9.
Yeah.
So that's like a certified, like, actual in the points. Yeah. And Logan, P11. I was just like, and the worst part about it was I was paying attention to Lewis so much that I wasn't truly following the rest of the race. Like, if I'm completely fair, like the top 6 people were like, or 5 people are all I was watching. And then I was like, oh my God, Logan, you know what though? He has just thrown caution to the wind and say, I have nothing to lose. I don't have to prove myself because I probably don't have the seat anyway. And I think it's doing him a lot of good to just let all that pressure
off his
go.
shoulders.
Yeah,
absolutely. I think,
but if they drop him mid-season, because there's rumors. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. But there are rumors that they are dropping him. They might drop him mid-season. If they drop him mid-season after him getting into Q2 twice and then being P11, why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
I'm sorry.
I'm going to be very upset with you, Mr. James. I forgot his last name because I
Dear
was
Mr. Val, you have committed a crime.
yeah.
I feel bad for you, but you don't want me to, I'm not gonna say what I want to say. It's
No,
fine.
say it. Say it. He doesn't
I just,
deserve a seat next year. We will
yeah,
say that. He doesn't. But for him to be progressing better than he's ever raced,
yeah,
and,
very proud of
and
him.
he's not crashing that much.
Hilarious, I guess I have to say, he's not crashing that much. I mean, come on, guys, he hasn't shunted in a while. I mean, Slay,
Yes.
old cow for Logan Sargent. I mean, yeah, Kowalski. It's just what I was saying before. Like, I'm done babying grown men.
Yeah.
Like, do your job. Do your
Yeah.
job. And I don't care if I sound like a real saying that, but like, oh my God, like people don't give that same like regard to Daniel. They don't give that same regard to Esteban Ocon. They pull these like Gucci bears, and I'm like, ew.
Are you calling
but
me
what
out?
is this? No, not you. And it's like I'm just like
Yeah.
your points are valid. That sometimes I see things and I'm like, this is whack. This is whack. Like,
Yeah.
come on, stand up. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. But I also feel like as an American and a US citizen, we don't have very much
I
F1
mean, you guys
representation.
don't have
So like
much to smile about at the moment at all.
so let us just have him for the end of the season. He's not
Yes.
like I think Alex has actually cost them more in crashes and stuff than Logan. So and he's progressing. So let's just let him finish the season if he continues to like be kind of where he is now.
I want to see it. I want Logan to. I never want to see somebody do badly on that
Yes.
racetrack. I want everybody to prove their worth. I want everybody to prove why they're in Formula One. So yeah,
Yeah.
points for Logan Sargent at Search for the Americas.
He did last year.
Whether it's sprint race points, whether it's race points, I don't care. I know you'll be there.
He got a point last year because there was what 2 disqualifications for Lewis and Charles. Like,
Is it anymore? Babe.
Logan was
I've
already on
never
the
felt
plane
so
back
much
home.
pain. Oh my God, I've never felt so much pain than in that moment.
It was sad. It was sad. But I mean, we have to also say that Haas is a US team and they got P6 and also P10, right? Like, I can't remember what.
I was so proud of them. I'm so proud of them. Haas, I love you. I love you guys so much.
The biggest comeback. I would say the biggest comeback, but that's not true because Lewis is now the biggest comeback. But they're like the biggest team comeback.
Hold on a second. You take that back. It's not a comeback for Lewis because he's been there. He's been there. He's been on the podium. Come on.
But it's a comeback. 2.5 years, we can say it was not his fault. Not his fault, but it is a comeback.
Mercedes comeback.
Yeah, Mercedes comeback. But yeah, Haas, really waking shaking everything up in that midfield. Like Cash App, you better watch out. They're gonna come take that spot from you.
This is what happens when you get rid of a PR merchant.
Yes.
And replace them with someone who's actually doing their job properly.
I know. And when I was like listening to the commentators, they were saying that that everything is like still working as it was before, but now we have like the right people making the decisions, you know? And Gene has been at the last 2 races where they got P6, but like Hulk isn't going to be there next year. So I am super interested in seeing who they put in that spot.
I'm like,
I mean, there's like
Esteban. Is it going to be
not?
I don't know. I just don't know anymore. Like, I'm not mentally prepared to silly season because everything is like everywhere all at once.
Yeah, I mean, we have Ollie. He's proven that he is good, and they're giving him like another practice session, I think, a couple throughout the rest of the season, which is great.
Yeah.
I don't know if K-Mag is gonna keep the seat. I don't know. It's just so many options.
Only time will tell. Only time will tell. But
Like,
hey, there's so many other cool things happening right now. I mean, we're going into a break after this race. And then Red Bull and their new road car. That's looking cool.
oh,
It's a
Adrian
gorgeous car,
Newey.
don't you think? It's
Yeah.
stunning.
It's very beautiful. Although I did have someone on one of the teams say, I asked him, I was like, "Do you like it?" Because he commented something on my post or my story, and he's like, "No, I don't like it." And I was like,
Oh.
"You're such a," he's like, "You're such a hater," and I was like, "You're such a hater," and he's like, "Yes, I know." I was like, "That's because Red Bull beats you every week."
I love
and,
that.
And Adrian Newey isn't going to your team next year.
Speak your truth, Sting. Speak your truth. I mean,
yeah, and did you hear the rumor? Well, I guess it's not a rumor. Maybe it's a rumor, but Jeremy Clarkson on the Grid Walk said that that Adrian Newey is looking for a new house in the UK, not Maranello. And I was just like, well, duh, because he has to buy his wife her dream house in the UK so he can go to Maranello.
exactly.
You
And
see?
also, Jeremy Clarkson is an A-grade star. Like, he
Yes.
just be talking. He just be
Yeah.
talking and saying random crap because he's just like, he's on Helmut Marko level of like saying things that are not true,
Yeah,
but except
that's
he
so
does
true.
it for like the hilariousness of it, you know?
Right.
So I think that him telling some random reporter from Holland that Adrian Newey is moving to the UK instead, I don't trust him.
Yeah, that's true. But also, you know, he's going to Ferrari. And
Exactly.
I think I after the car coming out, right? And we all saw it this week or today or whatever. I was like, oh, that makes sense why he hasn't been saying it. He's been playing a little coy and not really saying anything because he needed to release the car. Now he can let that go for a couple weeks and then we can find out where he's going because he's for sure already signed. He's already signed with someone, like hands down.
Yeah. For sure. For sure.
And
But
he's still and like throwing, walking through the grid, like doing his little thing. And I'm just like, anybody that thought this man wasn't going to another team is insane. Like he's already designing a 2026 car.
exactly. His mind is powerful. But also, like when Jeremy Clarkson was saying that to that reporter, Adrian Newey was right behind him.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that. I just saw like the thing.
I was like, that's how this man's finished.
I love it though. I love it.
Same. I love a good joke. I love a little prank.
And he is the prankster. He is a prankster. Also, we didn't talk about the pets of Silverstone.
Oh my god.
We had like the clothing trade of Alex and Roscoe, which is
so cute.
Yeah. And the merch that Alex brought for his tests. I loved it.
Don't even.
Yeah.
I want that collection so badly and sold out so quickly.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Alex Williams. Come on. I know you have some like one-offs in the garage. It's okay if Alex wore it or Lily wore it. Like just send it to Australia.
I'll take it. I will. I swear. But
maybe honestly, a little signature.
I don't know what they said. I mean, I did just recently tell the story of how I saw Alex Albon in his underwear.
Yes.
So, you know, maybe you could apologize to me, Alex, by giving me a piece of merch. Because, you know, I didn't need to be subjected to that. But it's fine. It's fine. I'll forgive you if I get some merch in there.
Yes, absolutely. But I was surprised that we didn't get like a Leo and Roscoe. I didn't see any like content.
I think it happened and they're gatekeeping it from us. I think that they're gatekeeping it because that photo that was posted of Charles petting Roscoe.
Yes.
He looks like he's holding something in his hand and there's another lead going the other way. So, are they waiting for a big reveal or...
Maybe they're gonna do like to some extent, like why wouldn't they just be like, oh, new besties met? But they definitely need to do like a merch collab next year, like pet merch collab.
Absolutely.
with the pets.
I have a theory. You know how Charles has those like vlogs that he puts up every like quarter?
Yeah.
So maybe he's saving it for the vlog.
Okay.
Because he's like, the people will love this. The ladies gonna love this.
Yeah, exactly. I'm losing all my headphones because
Oh, no.
like
Her
what's
hair
going
is too
on?
big. It's too full of secrets.
I mean, I did do it for the celebration of Lewis Hamilton today.
Yeah.
So I talked about having dreams earlier in this
Oh my
in
God.
this podcast because I have just been, I don't know what's going on with the universe that I've been having dreams. I had a dream about George Russell, and I literally woke up out of my dream because I was like, it was so real.
Yeah, the shameless thing. I haven't even heard about this dream.
I haven't said it to anyone because I was like, it's absolutely the most ridiculous thing. And it was that Toto got rid of George Russell and Lewis stayed. And I was like,
No.
what is happening? I
No.
was like, what is happening?
Where is George going?
I have no idea. But it was just, I literally woke up out, I was like, what is going on? And obviously that's not going to happen. But yeah, that was like a crazy dream I had.
No, let's unmanifest that. Let's take that away. Don't
Yeah.
let an EMS person. It's not for us.
But the dream happened before the race. So maybe that was just like telling me that
Foreshadowing.
George was not gonna like finish the race.
Yeah.
And Lewis was going to be like Toto's favorite son this
The
past weekend.
symbolism
Yeah.
of George winning the last race, not getting this one, being replaced by Lewis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it was because it happened. Was it Saturday? I woke up or something. Yeah, it was before the race, and I was like, "Whoa!" I even like wrote it down because I was like, "That's super weird." So yeah, I guess like
That's
my our intuition, our manifesting, whatever, it's coming in.
Yeah, dude, love it. Now, can you have a dream about Lewis winning in Hungary, please? Because
Yes.
that's what we need. That's what we need.
I'm actually like manifesting that he wins Abu Dhabi this year.
I would like to see it. I would like to see it. But
By
yeah,
beating
quickly,
Max.
before we go, let's do predictions for Hungary. I think Max on the top, Lewis P3, Oscar P2.
I like it. But I'm going to say Oscar P1.
Yes, okay.
And then I'm going to say Lewis P2
Okay.
and Lando P3.
Not a Max Verstappen inside.
No.
Wow.
They were really struggling. They were really struggling in like dry conditions. And I don't know. I'm just.
Hey,
this
is the year of anything can happen. So, yeah, let us know what you guys think in the comments
Yeah.
below because we don't even know what's going to happen next race. Nothing is certain.
Everything's up in the air. But also, like, where's Ferrari? We thought that they were going to be like, oh, winning the constructors. Like, will Ferrari make a comeback next race?
Let us know. Let us know. Because, yeah, ever since Monaco, Ferrari's gone. Pew.
I think I saw something that they were going to go back to a different, like they essentially pulled like an Aston Martin where they changed the car, brought upgrades, and they're like going backwards or whatever, and they're going to like revert back to a different car
As they
setup or
should.
whatever. Yeah, and then like start over. But like, Fred, get it together because we're winning a world championship next year with Lewis
Yeah.
Hamilton, and we
Yeah.
won't take anything less.
Exactly. You heard it here
And on
first.
that note,
On
thank
that
you
note.
guys. Thank you guys
Exactly.
for watching us celebrate Lewis Hamilton's win.
You guys know us. We love Lewis. Let us know what your race predictions are for next race. Will Ferrari make a comeback? And who's gonna win? But yeah, love ya and goodbye.
Bye.